for getting married.
Because that's what women always use. We always say, I don't see no rings on these fingers.
Right. I want to say this. To me, again, it goes back on the two individuals. You know when you want to be with someone, and vice versa with the other person. You get what I mean? But if the other person sees that they're showing affection and whatnot that they're not ready for, or like I'm not ready for this level, then it needs to be spoke on. Don't lead anybody on thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna get it. No, if you see that person showing more, affection and more like being in a relationship, then you need to speak up. Like, okay, hey, I don't know where you see us, or but this is what I feel where we're at, to get that understanding, so the other person doesn't automatically assume. You get what I mean?
I agree. And I think that should be something that's constantly spoke on. Because if we get 6 months down the road, okay, I can understand that. But then we're another year down the road, and you still have that same mind frame. And then now we're 5 years down the road, and we still functioning with each other. We still good. But there's still no verbal commitment. But you're the only person I fuck with. And, to my understanding, I'm the only person you fuck with. But, it cannot be true, because we don't have this establishment or this commitment to each other.
Especially if we don't live with each other. When you leave the house, that's what it is. Like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know who you're doing it with. You know what I mean? Just when we see each other, that's what it is. So this is when it boils down to me. Then yes, it should be spoke about, because we don't want to keep wasting people's time. Then to me, then it goes deeper. Then you have to get the understanding of, this is what it is. This is what I come for. This is what I expect from you. If that's the level you're on. Right. But if you want it to be something deeper, so if you've been with someone 6 months, right?
Right.
And y'all damn near living together. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, you're saying, now this is my husband, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then now all of a sudden your ear to the street is, oh no, we just live together, we roommates, or you get what I'm saying? At this point now, like I said, in the day and age we are in, it does need to be discussed, because people be having different agendas, and you don't even know it.
Right.
People pretend real good.
But what I'm trying to understand is how a person can actually let it go years into the relationship, or whatever that relationship establishment is, but allow it to go years in, knowing that there is no full commitment.
That's because we're not setting boundaries. To me, at this point, you want to be in a relationship so bad, you're just accepting whatever comes, because you're just hoping that it's going to be a fairy tale ending. When all actuality, you're wasting your fucking time.
Right.
Because it's something that you've created in your mind. So that's what we have to own. We can't just assume anything anymore. Because people then faked whole life relationships for years. And had a whole relationship over here. True story.
Well, it only takes 21 days to develop a habit. So,
but we ignore the red flags. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I said where it comes for both men and women. To recognize the red flags when they're there.
Right.
We know what we want. But a person is going to keep doing what they see us accepting.
Right. Well, I think that when we are in the beginning, the relationship should be more established around getting to know each other and the likes and the dislikes. Before we even introduce sex into it. But I definitely believe
that's the first couple of dates.
That's
what I'm saying. The dates. You go out on dates. And around that time, that's when you're supposed to to talk to one another, get to know one another, your likes and dislikes, your do's and don't do's, accepts and will accepts, compromises, and I'm not compromising. You get what I mean? So to me, that's where the courting comes in at.
And like I say, I mean, I also feel that you should have that sex or encounter before you make that establishment that you guys are going to be in a relationship as well. Because that's something that's not left out in the blue. I understand they say marriage before sex, and but these are not the days of that. And like I say, if I think two adults are responsible enough at that responsible age to make that decision to have the safe sex for one, and then moving forward to even establish that we're going to have even a monogamous relationship, or an open relationship, or just be sex friends, period. But I also believe that it is something that should be verbally agreed on.
You could say that, and an agreement can be made from the very beginning. But then, as things start progressing, new rules start coming in. Mm-hmm. If you understand what I'm saying. This is what we agreed to at first. But now all this is coming in. Well, we said we was just homie loving friends. But now it's, you know what I mean? You feel like your girl, and you feel like I'm your man. But this is not what we agreed into when we first came to it. So, I mean, that's what it really, I guess it really does, when I really think about it, as we're talking about it more and more, it's based off of communication between two people.
Right.
Because at the end of the day and ages we are in, there is no time to be wasted.
Right. So I think that once you already dedicate that year, then you get to 2 years and 3 years. I mean, shouldn't that relationship be reassessed? I mean, you can't keep going off of the beginning and the way you guys got down in the beginning when you're like 5 and 10 years down the road and you're still having this type of somewhat monogamous relationship. But
what do you mean? Please define somewhat.
Because it's not agreed upon yet. But you know that you're only having sex with that person, and you believe that person is only with you.
I'm gonna just say, personally, after being with someone 2 to 3 years, y'all ain't took that step. Stop wasting each other's time, because now you know who each other are. At least you should. If you don't, that means you haven't been paying attention. You just been going with the flow.
Delusional.
You're not paying attention to the individual that you're with. That makes no sense. And again, that's just time wasted. To me, like if you're fully grown, you know what it is you want, how you want it, and how you not gonna accept it. And this is what happens when I say we don't put boundaries on things, so people go years and years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just going with the flow.
With the flow, right.
We got to knock that off.
And there's a lot of people that's just comfortable with doing, the same thing that they used to doing every day. And sometimes you get to an age to where you're not willing to introduce new partners into your life, especially when you're already dealing with one.
Well, then that goes into the shade. Well, what age frame do you get in, or what mind frame do you need to be in to say, you know what? I'm at this age. It is no time to be wasting no more. I want an individual. I want a companion. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We in this together. We figuring it out together.
Right.
Instead of just you 10 years in and all y'all just been doing, if that's the case, is just fucking. There is no real official relationship. You've just been wasting each other's time.
Yeah, and only on to that level because you can't establish that that commitment as far as what the title is. but you've been sharing the same endearment and the same closeness as people that are in relationships and that has been in relationships for years. So, especially if this is the person that you've been dealing with for years, So outside of the commitment, well, I'm not even going to say the commitment because you're still living your life committed to this person. But because you have not established that title to say that, hey, listen, I'm actually your person and you're in your mind, that it should even be still considered an open relationship because you're still carrying yourself, you're having sex with each other unprotected. This person isn't around your children, meeting your family and things like that, But just because there isn't a verbal agreement on what the title is, that gives you the option to think that, this is open. You know what I'm saying? When it's not open, it's just the fact that I fuck with you.
Well, according to the other person, it's not open. But to this person, it is. So to me, again, it boils down to the fact of how are you in tune with yourself? How in tune are you into the persons you're dealing with?
Right. But if you fucking me like I'm your woman and we have sex like we in love, and you get down with me.
Is it really love or is it lust?
Exactly.
Sometimes we got to decipher the difference between the two. We have to.
So while I'm in a delusional mind frame about the type of relationship that we have, is it my fault or was I misled to believe that you feel me like that? Because when you touch me, I can feel that energy from you that you fuck with me like that. But because we haven't established this verbal agreement to say, hey, listen, yeah, you my motherfucker.
I just feel like when people do that, to me, that's just them keeping their option open. Period.
Right.
That's just you keeping your options open. A form of selfishness. A form of this person ain't enough. This person ain't enough. This person gives only what I need on this. This person gives me what I need on that. So they got these multiple people that they're dealing with.
Exactly.
Again, to me, it doesn't take that long for two people to know that they want to be with each other. But that's to me on a whole nother adult level. They know what they want. Each individual know what they want. And each individual knows what they want from each other.
Right.
Without even having to say a word. Because again, we're going to say this relation thing is on a whole nother spiritual level too. So, again, we got to set boundaries. Once we see something that's going on, and like, okay, you know what? I've been dealing with this for this long, but I be doing this, and this. Not taking away from what the other person may be bringing to the table, but it's like, dang, we've been doing this long, and ain't none of this changed, and I done brought the conversation up, but it always gets shooed off, or whatever the case.
Right.
To me, it's up to us as individuals. We have to start setting boundaries for ourselves. So after so long, we not seeing what we feel we deserve or need from this particular relationship, instead of just assuming what this person is giving. But again, we can't just assume that this person don't love us because they're not loving us the way we want them to, or giving us the affection in this relationship the way we want them to. So I guess, like, again, it does boil down to being an open communication thing, but also knowing who you dealing with. We're talking about reading energy, vibes, actions.
Right. But, you also have to give into consideration that, some people are comfortable with where they are, especially in their relationship, and we can't judge relationship off of what we think everybody do in a whole. Some people have open relationships to where
and they're okay with
do sleep with other people, protected, and so therefore, that's what type of relationship they have, and it's okay because it's agreed upon.
Right, but then in some of those relationships, somebody end up dead because somebody thought something more than what they should thought, or You get what I'm saying?